Dear students, welcome to the 23rd lecture of Pharmaceutical Management and Marketing. This is your course lecturer, Yasser Abbasi. I hope you are staying safe at your homes and getting best learning experience with Hamdard University's learning management system. In this lecture we will discuss the marketing channels which are usually utilized for the marketing of pharmaceutical products. Due to drugs' high professional requirements and close correlation with daily life, people's purchase and usage of drugs need the correct guidance from doctors. Therefore, when selling drugs, pharmaceutical companies should transfer drug-related knowledge accurately and timely to the downstream doctors through pharmaceutical marketing channels. Then doctors can enable patients to purchase the drug in the process of prescription. On the other hand, in order to control the potential risks of drug and facilitate drugs improvement, the pharmaceutical company should also collect feedback knowledge about the patient's actual using efficacy and adverse reactions from doctors, after the drug is sold in the market. Obviously, there are a lot of drug knowledge that need to be transferred in pharmaceutical marketing channels, which include the knowledge of drug pharmacology, knowledge of how to use and the feedback knowledge after clinical usage. They can be transferred in the tacit way among individuals such as doctors and pharmaceutical representatives, and also in the form of explicit knowledge among pharmaceutical companies, distributors, hospitals and pharmacies, etc. The effectiveness of drug knowledge transfer process is important to ensure the rational purchase and usage of drugs for customers. Researchers have found that there are many forms of knowledge in pharmaceutical industry, however, only a small part of drug knowledge, including clinical trials, how to use of drugs and other promotional materials knowledge, can transfer among these enterprises, and pointed out that pharmaceutical companies should actively transfer knowledge to the hospital to guide patients' dedication and promote drug sales. It has been also suggested that the effective transfer process of drug knowledge in pharmaceutical marketing channel has a guiding significance for patients' purchase and usage of medicines. Briefly, we can say that pharmaceutical companies transfer the knowledge about the drugs to doctor for the benefit of the patients, and in return, or, as a consequence, pharmaceutical manufacturers promote their drugs as well. The processes through which the pharmaceutical firms achieve this objective are termed as pharmaceutical marketing channels. These usually include home visits, academic conferences, medical distribution channels, and scientific magazines. As we have discussed the concept and need of pharmaceutical marketing channels, now it is easy to understand the definition of pharmaceutical marketing channels. Pharmaceutical marketing channels are specific channels and paths by which pharmaceutical companies promote or sell drugs to patients, including academic conferences, home visits and medical distribution channels. Before we discuss the characteristic of each channel individually, let's see a drug knowledge transfer mode in pharmaceutical marketing. The pharma firms select medical experts who have influence among their practicing community. Pharmaceutical companies will send medical experts to attend the meeting to propaganda and promote drugs to other doctors, which in turn utilize this knowledge for the treatment of diseases by transferring the benefits of the drug to the patients. This is usually a one-way mechanism. The pharmaceutical companies develop a team of representatives and train them accordingly, that is, provide them maximum knowledge of the drug product. The representatives visit each healthcare professional to their clinic or hospital and demonstrate the features of the drug. This demonstration made at clinics and chambers and wards of hospital is called detailing. Therefore, the pharmaceutical sales representative are also known as detail man. At the same time, doctors transfer the knowledge of patients' clinical usage of drugs and their experience with the drug. The representatives then transfer this knowledge back to the company for immediate and necessary actions. The distribution channels are utilized to propagate the information, usually about over-the-counter medicines. In addition of supplying the medications, these channels transfer the knowledge to retail pharmacies and hospital pharmacies. The information is then transferred to the patient. These channels can also be utilized for the successful launch of a new product, either over the counter or prescription prescription medications. Please note that information also travels in both directions through distribution channels. Now we move on to discuss each channel individually. Generally, the pharmaceutical company will hold a new product launch, academic seminar, sponsorship, medical association, the pharmaceutical society, or the hospital's annual conference before the drug enters the market to promote the new drug. To enhance the drug's status and influence and promote its use, pharmaceutical companies usually disseminate knowledge of drug pharmaceutical ingredients, indications, mechanism and the expected efficacy by medical experts in the academic conference. Medical experts attending the meeting are usually either research and development members of new drugs in the pharmaceutical company, or authoritative medical expert, which are usually professors of universities, pharmaceutical authorities of research institutes, or the hospital's clinical experts, etc. In other companies who have relationship with the pharmaceutical company, they can fully communicate with the participants, especially doctors, to make them understand and master the knowledge of drugs. To meet the doctor's academic needs, academic conferences always should refine the core elements of propaganda like drugs' efficacy, safety, stability and other aspects, make doctors believe that the drug can really help them optimize treatment, improve the level of prescription and avoid the risk of drug usage. Then the doctors will increase their confidence about the drug, and recommend it to the hospital where they work. Accordingly, the hospital will purchase the drug after doctor's referral at last. The main purpose of academic conference is to enhance the status of pharmaceutical drug in the industry and to access the doctor's approval. The doctor tend to be more emphasis on the medical value of pharmaceutical drugs, so medical experts to promote products through pharmaceutical conferences should focus on the propaganda of knowledge about pharmaceutical composition, mechanism of action, indications, the expected effects, adverse reactions, side effects, medical value, and the drug in domestic and international level. Medical experts should be careful not to add too much commercial activity, because excessive commercial promotion may make the attending doctors appear as certain subjective boredom, which will be harmful to drug knowledge transfer and the promotion of drug. In the early promotion of drugs, in addition to academic conferences, pharmaceutical companies usually conduct home visits to promote drugs, send medical representatives to contact doctors in each hospital. Various code of conducts for medical representative have been implemented. For example, China Pharmaceutical Industry Association drafted a code of the basic functions of pharmaceutical representatives which made the regulations, such as, pharmaceutical representatives should promote drugs to doctors and medical institutions, disseminate the safety and effectiveness of drugs correctly, support medical institutions to use drugs rationally, collect the adverse reactions of drugs, and timely feedback to the manufacturers, propose effective measures and disposal methods, understand the clinical needs and provide scientific pharmacy services. From the basic functions of pharmaceutical representatives, we can see that pharmaceutical representative is the intermediary power of knowledge transfer, and home visit is a good way to transfer knowledge to doctors. As the doctor is the important influencer whether the hospital import the drug or not, and the main decision makers when patients' purchase behavior of drugs occurs, the doctor should be fully informed of the symptoms, indications, efficacy and other pharmacological knowledge by representatives. Doctors will persuade hospital to purchase the drug until they fully understand the knowledge, and then they can prescribe drugs to patients properly. In the process of drug sales, pharmaceutical representatives continue to maintain contact with doctors in various hospitals, to ensure that the knowledge of amount of usage, dosage, the contraindications, precautions and storage methods is continuously transferred to doctors. At the same time, doctors transfer the knowledge of patients' clinical usage of drugs about actual efficacy, adverse reactions and incidental efficacy, back to the representatives, and then representatives deliver this feedback timely to the pharmaceutical companies, who will summarize this knowledge to make further improvements of the drug. As the key personnel contacting pharmaceutical companies and doctors, if representatives of pharmaceutical companies might not transfer knowledge effectively, they lose the opportunity to sell drugs because of lack of experience and low quality. Therefore, the training of medical representatives is a priority. To enhance the medical representative's professional knowledge of medicine, pharmacy, management, law, marketing, psychology and other aspects, the training methods must be various, such as meetings, lectures, discussions, intranet, classes, etc. These training improve their ability to learn, coordinate and communicate, and enhance a sense of responsibility and professional ethics. Only through a systematic training can medical representatives coordinate many aspects of the relationship. Through its possession of drug knowledge, they can transfer knowledge to the doctor effectively and receive feedback knowledge from the clinical use of drugs quickly. Pharmaceutical companies usually deliver drugs to retail outlets through pharmaceutical distributors at all levels. At the same time, they will transfer the pharmacological and pharmaceutical knowledge by the form of drug instructions to hospitals and pharmacies. When transferring knowledge through traditional distribution channels, the pharmaceutical distribution channels usually consist of multiple levels, including wholesalers, distributors and agents. The pharmaceutical distribution channels are involved in many links and the situation is very complicated. Therefore, when transferring knowledge with pharmaceutical retail outlets, the pharmaceutical companies should pay attention to the completeness and accuracy of knowledge transfer. You must have noticed that pharmaceutical marketing channels are different from consumer marketing channel. Particularly, the most important channel in pharma is face-to-face detailing, that is the home visits or the field visits. Despite the marketing of drug product, the process is actually intended for two-way knowledge transfer, which is beneficial for all major stakeholders of pharmaceutical market. That is the prescriber, the patient, and the drug manufacturer. The hard copy of these slides are available on university's learning portal. For further reading, you may refer to Pharmaceutical Marketing, a Practical Guide, by Dimitris Dogromatsis. Got any questions? You can always reach me at given email. Thank you for taking this lecture.